Welcome back, kobolds, to the Lucky Die Dragonseekers. Previously, Alix keeps the peace, Notch retrieves his shield, and Tawree comforts the dying. After the team confronts the shield thief, Notch uses his relic to navigate towards the site of potential dragon eggs. However, they end up navigating towards Daruk in his dying moments, who gives the Dragon Knights his memories. Shortly after, they find a scared young kobold trying to make way home towards the dragon eggs. How did the thief end up a fake Dragon Knight? How long has Kimball been alone? And what abilities is Orchop granting Tawree? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die Dragonseekers. The three of you find yourself within the Dragon Cave, at least the entrance of. You can see that on the ground, for those of you who are slightly keen-eyed, you can see that there are mostly covered in dust and grime and a little bit of snow, but there aren't very many tracks here, like somebody hasn't been here for a while, which hopefully tracks with the fact that Kimball hasn't been here for a while. You can see a little pile that Kimball has made of all the supplies that she had brought with her from the town. And you can see that ahead of you goes this kind of tunnel that kind of digs its way back and tends to go down. And you can see that the little bit that it goes down, it also then splits in different directions. One to the left, which goes slightly upwards, and one to the right, which goes down. This is kind of what you see when you walk in. You can tell that the pathways that you can see a little clearer, the one directly ahead of you, that there are, again, more branching tunnels that come off of this. Can everybody see in the dark? Does everyone have dark vision?
Yeah, that was my question, because fur and fire torches don't work too well.
I have dark vision X, and I'm not sure why it has an X there.
That just denotes that you have it.
Okay.
I would love to tell you if I have dark vision, if Roll20 would load my character sheet.
I have dark vision, yes.
Great. Fingers crossed the plasmoids have dark vision. I'm pretty sure that all the additional ones all end up having dark vision, because not having it is a pain in the ass.
We'll see for you, Squishy.
Yes, you have dark vision.
Yay! Okay, I have dark vision.
Oh, and apparently you can also hold your breath for an hour.
I did remember that.
I mean, they don't have lungs, so why wouldn't they?
Well, all right then. Okay. As you walk in and you can see all the paths go different ways, Kimball just kind of reaches down and she picks her stuff and struggles to get back on her shoulders. And she says, do you want to find the place to stay, or do you want to work on defenses? I know it's been a bit of a travel, and you guys were arguing a bit, so I don't know what you want to do.
What hour of the day is it?
It's getting pretty dark, but then it is winter, so it could be like 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. Like it's kind of that. It's getting dark at least.
Yeah, I think we should start working on defenses. What do you have? Can you show us what your resources are?
Yeah. She kind of like throws the pack down, and she kind of like takes a few things out, and you can see that she has a couple of scrolls. She has a couple of what looks like new whetstones. She has a couple of like really sharpened blades, pieces of metal. You can see that she has what looks like potion supplies, but not necessarily the potions themselves. What looks like rare herbs, and you can see that she also has some seeds, and you can see that she also has just what looks like only a very few amount of actual rations that she could eat.
Great. So there's nothing here we can use except for these blades. All right.
Well, I was more hoping in the way of defense things that you might have, that we can fortify the cave entrance, maybe.
I have more building supplies where I sleep, and these are just so I can make the traps that I have better and more destructive.
Is this the only entrance here in the cave?
She nods. Well, kind of. You know how the dragon is carved into the rock? The eyes also, you can see out of them. And the nostril slits, you can use them as archery, but I'm not very good with that.
But this is the only way that they could get in if someone else was coming from the outside.
Well,
she nods.
Unless
they climb up to the eyes, yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be expecting us. If we were to cover our tracks coming in here, set a trap right here in the entrance, there's only one way in unless they're scaling the wall. I say we make it look like it's just one person in here. We make it seem like it's just Kimball. So if anybody follows us, we got him.
That
sounds reasonable, yes.
I can very easily look like I am not here. So
can you make yourself look like a puddle? But just before we found you not, you vanished into a little puddle, right? Not vanished, but you fell apart.
Thanks for that. I needed a remembrance. I remember the state I was in.
I don't think you saw that Alix was a puddle at the time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me when you saw me. When I was stuck in that precarious position and had shitted myself. Thank you very much.
We can make Kimball look really frightening if we have like a big old... what is the race name? Leonin?
Yeah.
Leonin. Big old Leonin strapped to something. Just
like he's my prisoner.
Yes, like a prisoner.
You want me to look like another prisoner?
I think it would look funny, definitely.
You think that this little kobold here, anybody would ever believe, would capture a creature such as myself?
I've seen another creature that looked like it was basically just a heap of flesh capture you with... and I'm not sure if what the creature looks like is any indication that it could or could not capture you.
Touche. Just striking the pride.
Do you want me to show you my other traps?
Yes, that would be good call.
You have to follow me exactly, otherwise you'll get yourself hurt. And I think, Alix, you might be okay, but there's little passages that I take that are probably too big for Tawree and Notch. And she kind of looks like a little bit like, oh.
Yes, I can take all of the little passages because I have, I can do this, and they just turn into a puddle.
She kind of like has like wide eyes, and like she just then breaks into a smile. A little bit of a giggle to her.
So my gooey companion, I got a question for you. I mean, I know I've been asking you a lot of things lately, but if you were to leave a little bit of yourself behind, can you watch the entrance from that little bit?
Let me check my character sheet and see what my thing can do. Hold on.
It doesn't actually say like that you can leave bits of yourself behind to act as like guard or anything like that.
I have shape self, which is what I'm looking at, which is okay. You can use a pseudopod to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour out the contents. So it's basically it's mage hand.
Yeah, you have to be inside of yourself. Got it. Okay.
I have I can make a little pseudopod, but it's basically has the same abilities as mage hand. So
yeah. Okay. You just have to follow really closely, and you're gonna have to duck a bit and try not to get hurt by anything.
Tawree, can we leave your demon bunny behind? Are they around the entrance?
They're wherever you don't expect them. They're in the shadows. They will not trigger the trap.
Take a perception check to see if any of y'all can find where Ortrob is.
Me or all of us?
As is any of you, okay. All of you, whoever maybe like in that moment trying to see where Ortrob is.
Oh, well, not 20.
Filthy 20.
Oh, wait, filthy. Yeah, you're right.
I got 21.
Dirty 20 that you got.
Filthy 20s.
Hold on. Why? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Click. There we go. 5.
Oh no. Your curse continues, Casey. Well then, you don't see anything at all. Maybe you're just reforming back into a shape, or it's just your puddle-like form. You don't spot where Ortrob is. For the pair of you who got 20 or more, you notice that Ortrob is actually in the ceiling. There appears to be like a kind of a hole in the ceiling with like maybe a passage going through, or maybe it's just a hole in the ceiling. But you see Ortrob's form up there, just looking down on the four of you.
I thought he was like alien naked.
They're coming out of the walls. He's just up there watching.
Hey, Ortrob, can you hear me? Can you actually talk to me for once?
He just tips his head and just looks down at you. Doesn't say anything.
All right. If this is working, somebody's got to watch this entrance, because if we leave, we're exposing our backs here. So, you think you could do us a solid and keep an eye out? Maybe.
You see, like, one of his ears, like, prick all the way up, and the other one does, like, a half flop down. You can take from that what you will.
I'll take that as a yes.
If you could just inform us if something happens. I know you're contemplating other things right now.
Ortrob just kind of, like, does the nose twitch and a nod.
It'd go a long way for me to trust you. Because right now, after that whole conversation we had outside, I don't know about you.
He kind of takes half a step back, and he completely disappears from view.
Goodbye, bunny.
Wall bunny, ceiling bunny.
Well, I don't know if he's that reliable now.
He's quite reliable. He just does his things in maybe a little bit unexpected ways.
Fair.
I think he's cute.
I agree. I think he is very cute.
Tawree turns to them and says, "He really likes berries." With a little wink.
I think I have some berry seeds here. I might be able to grow. But maybe not so much. It's winter now. Anyway, follow me. And again, she like picks up all her stuff and she begins to make her way down like the central passage, which does a fair few twists and dips and turns. And you see many, many other passengers pass. She takes you very carefully through different places. She'll just like hold up her hand and like you'll see that she moves in a very particular pattern. And as you go through, she indicates that there are various holes in the ceiling and in the wall where there are various different types of arrows. And she says, if you tread in this area here in the wrong way, they'll all come shooting out and you'll either get hit with like some sort of poison that will make you super sick, or it will cover you in like this Papa called it mushroom tar, and it's really sticky and difficult to get off, and it's really, really flammable, which is really good because he set up this this ward on the floor, and as you keep walking, you spot a very, very familiar to you, at least Notch, explosive room on the ground.
Yeah.
And she says, and when the tar gets caught in the fire, it just keeps burning and burning, burning, and it's really difficult. So there's that.
That sounds horrible. Let's not get in there.
This is just great.
This might be a squeeze for you two, but there's a little tunnel here that if you put your hand on this part of the wall, and as she does, like you hear this like kind of shifting and grinding of stone. And as she holds that in, you can see that this little tiny passageway opens up to go around the side. And she's like, but it's like 3 feet, maybe at the tallest. So our two cat likes are gonna have to crawl, I'm afraid.
Tawree just sighs and is like, this is my kids being 3 years old all over again.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of shit that they'd make.
I'm not a fan of being on all fours, you know. We're a little more evolved than that. Now, this is not
Papa
fun.
had to crawl on all fours as well. He is a little bit taller than me.
Did you and him make all this?
He made this passage and the glyph, and he had other magical ones, but they some of them disappeared after. Yeah.
After what?
That's not the right question to ask.
Oh, he died. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Excuse my sensitivity.
Tawree's going to bonk him through, like, turns around in that very narrow passageway and bonks him on the head with a spoon.
Ow. But I'm sorry. It made it seem like there was more to the story besides that. I'm sorry.
Read the room.
It's a very small room.
Exactly, that's why you should.
Here.
It's a very narrow room, just like your brain, so you should be able to read it.
Oh, we don't have to go personal now, Tawree.
As you get out of this very narrow corridor and awkward conversation, she points that there's a very narrow ledge along one side that you have to stay in, and you can only really just see what she's talking about. For some of you, just not at all have any idea what she's pointing at. But as you kind of like backs up against the ledge and just keep like slowly walking around, she says, and all of that there is actually just a fancy piece of cloth, and it's like a 35-foot pit. And I fell in there once and it really hurt. And I had to, like, my dad had to come and rescue me with some rope. And it was really embarrassing because I had made the hole. And he told me I needed to be more careful.
Well, I'm certainly glad that we have you as a guide right now.
A 35-foot drop and you survived, little one? I'm impressed. I don't think you should be insulted by that.
Well, I just built it, so I knew it was here, and I fell in. It was embarrassing. But there's a couple of these along the path to where the ice wall is, and and here's my favorite one. And what you see ahead of you are is what looks like knives, like really thin, sharp knives that are just kind of like hanging in the air in front of you, and there are lots and lots of them, and they're actually almost identical to some of the knives that she had brought with her as supplies. And she says, when I've got some, just wait right there, okay? Just wait right there. Don't go too forward because you're going to get...
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Not with this weird stuff ahead of me.
I've seen your traps. I'm not taking a single step unless you tell me it's okay.
She kind of like has a bit of a giggle and she disappears into like a little tiny side passage, again, like hidden in the rock. And probably about 4 or 5 minutes later, you see slowly that some of these knives are beginning to move. And that's when you realize they're on like really thin wire. And then they just start moving around at high speed. But you also detect that there's a smell of burning and heat in the air. And she kind of like comes out and she has a bit of a smile. She says, so I've got like a little turbine over there. And when you put heat on it, it spins around and it makes all of these knives move. So I just have to keep the fire going.
You're very crafty.
Yeah, I had to be. I had to. My dad had knives flying in this air and they'd go off like when you crossed a line, but I can't do that. So I had to make a fake version. I think this is better. I wanted to put poison on them, but poisons run out and they get bad after a while. And I wanted to get better ones, but no one at the town would sell me.
I mean,
ones.
Worst case, if the poison goes bad, you still get food poisoning.
Yeah, I guess small victories. It'll go out in a few seconds. I only made a tiny little fire. It goes much faster than this when you have a big flame. So
Cobalt, it was just you and your old man protecting this place.
She nods.
Very good of you. You'd
well, how
do
come,
the dragons well.
How come you never did anything like this in the front cave, in the entry cave.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mostly stayed at the back for a long time, and as I went away from the wall and away from where all of our stuff is, I just started building traps as I went in case I had to run back.
Well, I guess if it's all this in between us and the wall that we want to go to, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if it's by the entrance.
That's true.
I was hoping to build another one of my blade and flames, but I don't think there's any place for me to set up a fire and make a turbine go in it. It's going to take a lot of work, and I thought maybe I could do that in the summer, but I have a feeling that's probably going to be too late, isn't it?
Probably.
At this point, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And as you kind of like keep going, you see like again, like there are a couple of more like really not quite so deep pit traps, and you can see there are a couple of definitely a few more like arrows and exploding glyphs between here and like where she takes you. But eventually you come to this area which feels very, very cold in the air. And as you kind of like turn one corner and you realize you have gone a massive distance, and without her help, this may be very difficult for you to navigate through without her, but you will come and do your survival and your history checks if you have to come to it. As you turn a corner, you see in front of you a massive cave, but it's clearly been cut in half by this ginormous ice wall, which is maybe 10 feet thick. Or you can see on the other side this kind of what looks like a sinkhole, I guess. And you can see like some eggs are dotted around the egg. You can see there's clearly some plant life growing over there. But there's no way between you and it. And it has that very, very heavy feel of magic about it. That kind of electrical feeling like you've gone too close to a power line. It has that all around you. You can see that there is...
There's eggs, everybody! Hey!
Yeah.
Check it out!
We have found them.
Maybe we keep the wall up, just in case they get through all of my traps and whatever traps you guys want to make and build.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, behind this, they're protected for now. We can figure out how to get them out later.
Yeah, but all of where I stay is over here. And she points like a little bit further past, which from Alix and Notch's point of view is where you had that point of view of the vision that Daruk gave you. And you can see that there is like kind of this small, tiny little camp, which clearly hasn't been disturbed in quite a while. There's like 2 bedrolls here, and like, you know, a couple of sets of clothes. It looks like the food has been completely eaten or has rotted away since. You can see there are remains of like mushrooms and stews and such like. But there doesn't appear to be any good washing facilities or anything like that. Much room for you taller folks. And it definitely looks like where her father's stuff is, that has not been touched, hasn't been touched in a very long time. There's like a very thick layer of dust over it. Not quite as much as on, and on Kimball's stuff is like, there's a lot less. It's clearly been used recently-ish.
Hey, whose stuff is this?
I'm disturbing everything unknowingly.
Tawree's going to bonk your hand. With a spoon again.
What?
You don't just do that. You don't just touch other people's stuff.
I thought we were gathering supplies for traps. I clearly
do those things look like supplies for traps?
I mean, after what we walked through, you could use anything. Apparently.
After what we just walked through, you shouldn't just be touching anything in here.
That is a fair point there.
Yeah, some of the other tunnels that are not direct way here. My dad and I set up this trap where it looks like there was a camp and someone had died, and we filled the bedroll with things to make it look like someone. And then when you move it, it's
even more of a reason not to touch things until Kimball tells us it's okay to touch.
It freezes you and in place, like, and that gives us time to like get to them and kick them out. So,
I love this cave.
Me too. I know it seems like dangerous, but it is really fun. growing up and learning about the different plants and creatures here. Yeah.
Look, Tawree, I made fire.
You make what?
Nothing. Sorry, that was for me.
I know.
Balance. Balance, I made fire.
I get that reference.
Thank you. Yeah, so if you want to leave your stuff here, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I can take you back up and we can figure out how to defend the front more easily.
Well, I want to take an account of how many eggs there are.
So Notch goes over to the wall, does that little
Yeah, you can definitely tell this has never really ever been cleaned. So like you do this once or twice, you're like, oh, that's cleaner, but still gross. You give it another clean, but still, like, it gives you like a good 6 or 7. Like, this probably has never been cleaned in like however long these eggs have been here. As you do that, could you make a perception check for me, please? And anyone else who is trying to figure out exactly what's on the other side, you can do the same.
Yeah, I think Tawree is also going to, because she's curious if she can already see whatever Ottrip told her she could see when she sees the eggs. She would definitely give it a look.
Okay.
21.
I'm gonna check out the eggs as well because it's my job.
That's what we came here for. Check out them eggs.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
So
You stumbled and fell on a rock and hit your eyeball. Goo.
I don't have eyeballs.
Not anymore.
Goo balls.
So what did you get, Alix?
I got a 3.
Also known as a natural one.
Yeah.
Oh boy. This is not Alex's day.
Alix, maybe you need a little rest.
I got a 7.
Okay, and Tawree's on a 21. Unfortunately, I'm sorry for those who are dedicated Dragon Knights or Dragon Knights to be who don't see shit. You kind of look through and you see these blurry outlines of kind of what looks like maybe this is an egg. You can definitely see there are plants, bits of greens and blues in here, over. Tawree, on your 21, staring through, is that you can definitely see this is kind of, it looks a bit like a sinkhole. So like it is like much deeper if you look into it. You can see these kind of like oval looking things, and there are approximately 7 of them. Some of them have different colors, but it's actually a little bit difficult without any real light source to say what colors they are. But as for that,
there isn't a light source. That's a lot of stuff I can see for no light source.
You have dark vision.
It's a good old dark. It's your younger eyes, Tawree. Well, you can see a lot better than I can.
How old are you?
As tradition dictates, on our show, dark vision is
black and white,
basically like night vision, or it's blues and blacks or something like that. Your color, your choice. But yeah, like you can't really tell the colors apart. Not so much here without any real light source.
Do I see anything
what
like?
Else would you see?
Tawree is like expecting to see maybe something, I don't know, magical or whatever, or like something coming through from what Ottrip said. Is that, can she already see that or not yet?
No, you can't. So being like up against this clearly magical ice wall, and it is quite cold here, it might be that the wall itself is giving off too much magic for you to pick any nuances up, or maybe they don't have them at all, or maybe you just have to get through the wall to be able to sense them. So you're just not really sure.
Can I run a divine sense at this location?
You absolutely can.
See if there's anything around that may have been lingering from our past friends.
Yes, please. Could you click the ability for me so I can read it?
I think while Notch is doing that, Tawree is relaying roughly what she can see to the others.
7, huh?
Yeah.
I like that number. That's a good amount.
It is a good amount, yes.
That's a lucky number.
Yes, very much so. I don't know how we get them out, but I mean, they're safe in there for now. We take care of those fools, and then we can take care of them.
Okay. With your divine senses going out, you get this on the other side of the wall itself, you get this kind of, you sense and hear like this very, very delicate sound of like bells and like a choral choir in the background, which you would read as something holy. Whatever's on the other side of this is considered consecrated ground, so it's hallowed ground, which is all the good stuff. Also what you'd expect to be wherever dragons lay eggs, you would expect it to be consecrated ground one way or another. You don't get any sense of any darkness or putrefaction or anything like that. You don't get any negative feelings from this area. But you wouldn't pick up any residual, like, hey, there was a terrible dragon and a great dragon here, and there were things. Like, you don't get a sense of that. You just get that on the other side of this, the ground itself is holy, but that's actually all you get.
This is a good place. The bad magic hasn't gotten in here. We're good in here.
Okay. Yeah. I think we should.
So we're gonna lay down some traps?
Yeah.
What do you want to do now?
We should definitely see what Kimball has in resources and tools that we can use to make something outside.
I had an idea that if we're gonna be having people watch the front, like your bunny friend is, that we could put something in the eyes that we could knock over, and that would hurt people below, so that we could like
knock it outside,
defend ourselves a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I like rolling gravity. That works.
Yeah. Like big rocks, or I don't have any lava, and I don't know how I keep that, but my dad said that would be good. And also really cool because it's a dragon. But that won't work.
I like the creativity in your death.
Yeah. So maybe we could set something like that up. I don't know how to defend that entrance, though. Not yet, anyway. But if you come up with an idea, I could maybe help you make it.
How big was that entrance? Like,
it's fairly big. Let's say like 20 foot wide, probably about 60 feet deep, maybe. I don't know. I'm pulling numbers out. I don't know what any of
and
these
that
things
was
I see.
the thing that was like in the shape of a dragon's maw, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah.
Can I do a story check real quick? What happened to the dragon skull?
The dragon skull, she mentioned, is somewhere in this like complex of caves or tunnels, but she hasn't shown you where exactly.
Got it. So I can check now. All right.
Yeah, you can ask.
Kimball, where's this dragon skull we needed to get rid of?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Follow me. We have to go to it's near the entrance, kind of. So
why would you put it near the entrance? Wouldn't you bury it further in?
I don't think she can carry it on her own. She's a very small person.
I mean, is it trapped at least? Do we have to worry about it?
I left a little trap, but I can disarm that.
All right.
She, again, takes you very carefully past some of her traps. Even in the non-direct route to where this is, it has clearly been well thought out and protected one way or another. There are a couple of slightly dicey moments where you almost slip into pits and such like, but no real worries.
Whoa!
She takes you back to a place that's quite close to the entrance, and you can tell that this is obviously where a dragon has once lain or passed, because you can start seeing sections of ribs and vertebrae and such like, until you find the head.
How big is it?
It's bigger than her, for sure.
Bigger than like us as people?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So like the head would be like bigger than Tawree for sure. Maybe height wise slightly smaller than Notch, but it's still pretty big.
Okay.
Like you could fit like 8 of Kimball in here for sure. I still have room to spare.
Yeah, I can see why you couldn't really move it now, huh?
Yeah, I could probably move the teeth, and if I set up a system, I could maybe pull the jaw out. But I can't do this. It's too big for me.
I made it. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I told Kimball yet, so I'm just gonna do that now. I made a deal with my little bunny friend that he will take care of the skull, of getting rid of it. So we don't waste any resources on doing that. Well, there was a caveat to it, but I already hashed that out with the two of them. And she points over her shoulder too.
She kind of looks down and looks a little bit embarrassed.
Well, at least you know what.
And we came to an agreement. You decided for us, is what happened.
I have good reason for it. I will tell you about it later. We need to secure the cave of this place right now first.
So we could leave your bunny friend to deal with this?
Yes, but he will be a little bit weakened after he dealt with it, which means that he will probably not be as useful to us as a scout if we want to try and use him that way.
Okay.
Can I do something?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to do?
Notch puts his paw on the skull of the dragon, just as sort of a remembering the dead sort of thing, and an honoring of the fallen dragon of the past, similar to what he did to the pink one, Orlin.
Yeah, absolutely. You put your hand on it, and the divine senses that you had up before, you kind of get that inkling that this isn't a great being that you have your hand on, dragon or not. But yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Rest easy, dragon. Your job's done. Now it's our turn.
Will Orchard be able to find his way here, do you think?
I think so. He always knows roughly where I am. He's always about. And Tawree glances around to see if maybe he can get a glimpse of him somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually it's not obvious, but yeah, you look around and the four of you could very easily see that Wartrop is just kind of patiently sitting in the entrance to the tunnel itself.
Yeah, he's here.
Hello, bunny.
Kind of half expected him to be in the skull itself already.
In the eye. Just triumphantly sitting there. Taking selfies for his other demon bros.
Yo, I did it.
If we're talking, I could also sit in the eyes as goo. I could probably fill up at least one eye.
You could. This might be your only chance.
That might be a little desecration, but
I wouldn't want to do it.
I don't think they mean the skull, but the dragon, the cave.
I meant the cave eyes. I was just.
Oh.
You said eye, and it made me think of this idea I had earlier that I forgot to voice.
I thought you were gonna put yourself in the dragon eye socket and make yourself look like a dragon that was still alive. And I was like, that I know you're in training, but that might be a little much for.
No, that would be sacrilege. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Good. We're on the same religious
Would also
page.
serve no purpose.
Yeah, I can take you up to the eyes if you want, and to the arrow slits where the nostrils are, and yeah, we can do that.
My thought is that I can be sort of like the I can be lookout.
The lava.
Well, I can also do that, but I won't be the most effective lava of all time.
As Kimball makes her way out to take you up to where the eyes are of the cave.
I think in the meantime, maybe Notch and Tawree might stay downstairs and take a look at the cave entrance and see what they can do here. I think that would be make more sense than us going up there too.
Yeah, I think before you guys leave the cave where the actual the skull is, Ortrop just kind of bounces in front of where Tawree is, and anyone could stay if they wanted to see this. Ortrop looks up at you, and one of his ears is pointing up, the other is kind of flopping down a little bit, and his nose is twitching, and he says,
I do this. I'm done for a while.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes. Were you with us?
And you stick by your word?
Yes.
You see Ortrop's head turn. You know that freaky owl thing that they can do with 360 or whatever it is, the weird owl thing? He turns and looks at Notch like that, and he says,
Luckily, I wasn't speaking with you.
Head turns back, bounces forward a little bit, and you see him twip his head from side to side, and every time he does, his body begins to get bigger and bigger and bigger until he's roughly the 10-foot monstrosity that Tawree remembers first meeting. You get this very uncomfortable feeling, everybody around, that there is clearly a darkness here. Like you walk into a room, you're like, uh-oh, I shouldn't be here. That's what that feels like with Ortrop being this size. You see him lift his paws and his ears go straight, and he lays them on the dragon skull itself, and you see the pair of them begin to shake, and they begin to bleed together. You see this kind of greyish, brownish colour, the kind of colour of skull, begin to merge between the two of them, and the whole thing shakes and gets brighter and brighter, and so bright that it becomes very difficult to look at. And at the last moment you hear a shatter, and the head itself crumbles into dust, and Ortrop falls to the floor, all 10 foot of him passed out.
Oh, no! Giant passed out rabbit!
I did not know
this giant bun.
I did not know that the bunny could be so large.
I did not know that you could just pass out like that.
Don't mess with the bunny, but I mean, if you want to take out the bunny, I think now's your chance.
Wait, you want to kill the bunny?
I don't think you would be very successful at that, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't think I would either after that thing grew like it did out of nothing.
Yeah. I think it's still a little bit smaller than what I remember seeing it last time.
Yeah.
Also, the bunny is Tawree's friend. We cannot kill Tawree's friend.
A friend with air claws. That's all I'm going to say.
Air claws.
Kimball takes Alix up to where the sockets are. It's a little bit of a climb. It's a little bit steep. It gets a little bit narrow in places, but that's not much of a problem for you. And you'll find yourself actually in a fairly good-sized cave. Like a couple of people could set up camp here and have no problems. And it has like these two gigantic circular holes that allow you to view outside. You're about 15, maybe 20 feet up in the air. And you can see the kind of clearing that's just in front of the dragon cave itself. And you can see that the snow has gotten rapidly deeper. It's a little difficult to see outside, actually, with the amount of snow that's falling. And you can see the pile of bones that are there that she has tried to form into a mound to get rid of. And you, up there, you have a really good view of the forest. So if someone was setting up camp somewhere, you'd definitely be able to see the smoke coming, that kind of thing. She also takes you down to where the arrow slits are, and this view is much, much, much more narrow. It is, as you expect, an arrow slit, just where the nostrils are, and it's a very similar thing again. It's like a tiny little recess where maybe one person could set up camp, but be able to see out of both and shoot out of both nostrils if needed. This is, again, you can only really see the clearing from here because you're not particularly high off the ground. She takes you to those, so you have access to those. For you, it's definitely easier than the other two trying to get up here. The passageways are quite narrow up here. That's what you see when you're up there. Tawree and Notch, you were going to look at the entrance. I'd recommend, Alix, if you want to be there too, the three of you could probably come up with ideas and I'll have Kimball join in somehow.
Okay, yeah.
Go for it. Tawree is definitely first putting like a little cloth, like the cape on Ortrop while he's sleeping there.
Ortrop won't be able to remember this, but I do.
So there's a lot of snow outside. That's at least going to cover our tracks up the cave, so they're not going to know how many people are in here. Kimball, before we get started, would you mind going outside and coming back so that we have a fake path of just one person that's small? I mean, person being, obviously you're a kobold, but one persona that's small so they think that they're coming into something that's safe. And in the meantime, we can start figuring out how to do the rest.
I walk backwards so it looks like I was walking forwards.
I like your thinking.
She smiles. She seems like genuinely pleased with the praise. And yeah, like she kind of like starts making trips backwards. The snow is actually getting quite deep, so it's really difficult for her to pull off, but she gives it a go.
Be careful out there.
I will.
Don't go out too far.
Don't go too far in the cave because you might get lost and hurt yourself.
Oh no, we're staying out here.
Tawree, you are such a mom.
Well, I am a mom. I have 2 kids.
How old are they?
They're 8 this summer.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, you have twins.
Yes.
Who are they staying with while you are out here?
They're currently on the one of the islands outside of
Hellsip's Island.
Yeah. I don't know if those two know where the fuck that is, so I'm just trying to. Outside.
Are they in training?
They're definitely.
Are they learning to be killers yet?
No, they're definitely training for something, though I'm not entirely sure for what.
I mean, they're of the age of killing, so I was hoping that they would be.
Oh, they already made their first kills in last summer.
Oh, good,
yes.
Good. That makes me pleased to hear.
Yeah, they are very good. The two of them together, they work very well together. But they're currently, doing something akin to blacksmithing, and that's what they're training to do on the island right now, as far as I understand it. Yeah.
All right, let's get these traps. Who's the best at making traps? I mean, we can use the knives.
We
make some kind of pole string setup.
We had to make a lot of traps in our village to defend our village from the UNT back in the day. Well, but we have our setup is very different. We have an open city, not a cave entrance to protect. I'm not entirely sure what we can do here. Any ideas?
Well, there's a couple things we could do. There's always the classic pit with spikes in it. You could hollow out some of the ceiling, like where that your demon bunny was hanging out earlier, and have something come through there. We could put rocks and make the passage narrow, so that when they're coming through, something comes down and suffocates them. Like, not to volunteer you, Alix, but you could probably do that.
I could do that.
Though the entrance was only it was like that was not the main part of the cave, so it wouldn't really make sense to put that as something that suffocates them in the front of the cave entrance. It would make more sense in the back of the cave, but I think Kimball already got most of that covered, as far as I could tell.
I like the idea of making the entrance small, so that if there's only one person or two people coming in, it's only one at a time.
That's true.
And you'll be able to have the one person not be able to attack from behind. So, in a sense, we put a blockade, and we can ambush and take one out, and the other person can't do anything.
I like the idea of narrowing down the path for them to come through. Is Kimball there? No, she just walked.
Kimball's. Can you make a perception check? As you look around for Kimball.
Kimball. Oh, 13. No, baby, come back.
You can blame it all on me.
I swear to Atrop, if something happens to that child, then you and I are even about the eggs.
On a 13, you don't see her, but you do see the tracks. Mm-hmm. And they're like a good distance, like they've been a little bit meandering up to where the mound of skeletal remains were, and you see them kind of like having backed off, and they've gone into like a different part of the clearing. You don't see her, but you do like hear the sounds of like snow crunching, and it does only sound like one person. Okay. So she's at least maybe in audible range if you shouted for her.
Okay.
Kimball, get back here!
My thought
I don't want to be an alarmist, but are we sure that is Kimball?
Oh, I'm letting this go. I'm not interrupting it.
Well, this is TLD, and children do not get harmed here, so.
Very true.
I'm gonna use my divine sense again.
Okay.
To see if Kimball is, or if there's anything coming around the corner.
When you did Divine Sense and Kimball was really close to you when you were doing it around where the dragon eggs were, you didn't pick anything up from her. So the one that left here at least was definitely Kimball, was definitely a normal kobold, nothing sketchy about her whatsoever. And as you see her like reappearing, coming back after your call, almost like she's running back after her dad has yelled at her, being very careful to go back into the right steps. You don't pick anything up. It does feel just like her.
Oh, good. Had me worried there, kid.
I'm coming. I made some things, but it looks a little bit suspicious that it just suddenly starts. But I made it to a bush, so maybe they'll think it's. I don't know. And she's like again very carefully trying to make her way over to where the skeletal remains are, and like being exactly the right footsteps. It is. She's trying. It's not 100%, but she's giving it a good go.
As soon as she comes back, Tawree is going to be like, so we had the idea to narrow down the pathway towards the back of the cave, and my idea was there are two cave two tunnels going. It's splitting up in the back of the cave. There is there one cave that is littered with more traps than the other, and that could maybe the one that leads away from the eggs. Did you? We tried to spread them out as evenly across all of them. There is another cave. It's not quite as big as the one that have the dragon eggs in it, but there is another one. Do both of those paths lead to the eggs?
No, it's just the one that I took you through. You can get to it like a couple of different ways, like how we got to that place over there with the skull. There's a couple of different ways to it, but the most direct path is the one that I took you on.
And then we should maybe hide the entrance to the cave that leads to the eggs and make it seem like the other entrance is the only one available, so they go in there. And then we can, as soon as they went through, we can lay an ambush and wait for them to go in there, and then we can go in after them.
Yeah, you see her kind of like look down, and she's mumbling to herself, and you hear her like talking in a language. I don't think any of you speak Draconic, right?
I'm common.
Oh, I think I do.
Kino.
Hold on.
Oh shit! Oh, excuse me.
Damn,
it's okay. We're not.
Tawree, no. Tawree is bonking him on the head. Not in front of the child.
Tawree is enforcing no swearing in front of the child.
Sorry. My lying tongue.
I know I speak Draconic. I just cannot get to my fucking sheet because my mouse has decided.
That's okay.
There we go. My mouse was like, "Fuck you, Casey."
I hear that all the time.
Yep, languages common, Draconic, and Infernal.
Oh,
perfect. Yeah,
so
like
we
you
get
hear
to
her
know
like,
what they're saying.
Yeah, you hear her muttering to herself, it's like, yeah, if we go into that, then we could put the rocks there, and then we still have. Yeah, and she switches back to like the Kino common. But there's a place where we could get some really big rocks that you guys might be strong enough to move. That we could, if we put it in one place, there'll still be like 3 traps between the wall and where the dragon eggs are, and it would look like that there's only one big cave. Of note, it may not stand up to a lot of inspection, but it is quite dark in here.
If we do it close to the entrance of the cave, while eyes are adjusting, we have more of a chance to hide things. When it goes from light to dark, that's where the best advantage point will be for us. So I say we use that, combined with all your ideas.
In that case,
okay.
Would it maybe make sense to put torches up in here?
No, because then they'll see what's coming and know someone's here.
No, but they will go from light into dark. Their eyes will be adjusted to the light if they come in here. And they already.
I see what you're saying.
They already know that Kimball is here. And Kimball would probably assume that Kimball feels safe enough to light some torches in here.
Only a little, so.
Well,
True.
There are some.
We could use the strategic placement of the torches to hide things in the shadows. Yes. I see what you're saying.
In that case, we want to set, and like she points to like 2 different places, and then like she points a little further and around the corner. She's like, if we block that one off, it makes the path much, much longer. So we could do that there. If you follow me, again, be very careful because there's like a very big, long pit. It's not as deep as the other one, but if you fall in, you're going to really hurt yourself. And
that would be the pits.
What is Kimball doing right now? She's just showing us the other cave.
She's taking you to a place where you could get some like big enough rocks to actually form a barrier that she's not strong enough to lift herself.
I'll follow you.
Alix, can you carry rocks? Like carry heavy rocks?
I'm not very strong. Well, actually, it might be.
Because I'm thinking we have Ottrop.
Yeah, are there muscles under that goo?
I am not very strong, so I do not know if I would be very helpful.
So my thought is
looking
that
at my strength and realizing I have a
They could grease up the
one.
path with goo, and we could just push them.
no.
I
My
could do
thought is
that.
we should leave someone at the entrance just to have a lookout, because there's also Ottrop there somewhere near the entrance, just to make sure that if they come in, they don't surprise us instead.
Okay, I can be the lookout. I am very smart and good at eyes.
No, I can.
Even though I don't have
You
any.
can
I have to
disguise
make sure
yourself as a
you don't
puddle.
yourselves.
Wait, Kimbo, what were you going to say?
I said that I could stay here and draw your map, but then I realized that you would probably fall in the pits.
Yeah.
So.
I would rather have
Yeah,
you
probably.
around when we go in there.
It is okay. I will go sit up and as goo in the eyes of the cave.
I'm also not very strong.
It's all on you, Notch.
Great. I like the idea of leaving Tawree here and then having Alix be the goo that I can push it across. I can put more,
What?
bigger rocks.
That might be really difficult across some of the pits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind, Tawree,
Yeah.
you come. I don't know. If that works for
Yeah,
you.
sure. It would just feel
I am-
better to have someone at the entrance on the lookout.
I will stay at the entrance and be on the lookout. I am the best person to have there because I am the one that I can disguise myself as just some icy goo,
Yes.
and nobody will know any better.
If you have to escape, don't forget you can hide in the ceilings. There's lots of holes and tunnels above us, so just don't get caught. But if you do, you've got loads of places that you could hide.
Or can you make yourself thin enough and block one of the entrances and make yourself look like a rock?
I don't know about looking like a rock. There's not a lot of very gooey rocks. But from a distance...
What if you roll around in the dirt a lot? Because I know when if I'm trying to bury my litter sometimes, my leavings, they usually get stuff on there. So I'm thinking the goo could have the same qualities.
Well, I'm thinking that it looks more realistic if I look like ice coming out of the eyes, because from a distance,
Not like a sugar cookie.
No, not like a sugar cookie.
You could hold on to one of the teeth and make it look like you're, add to the effect of the dragon salivating.
Well, that
you
is
could
very
definitely do
scary.
that. You could also pretend to be an ice tooth, because there are a couple of teeth that are missing, so you could pretend to be a tooth, especially with the incoming darkness. You could probably blend in very easily like that too.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be a tooth. I'll be a nice tooth.
So dope.
How can, if we're deep in the caves, how can you alert us? Is there some way you could tell us from a distance? Can you make any sort of long-distance animal noises or something? Make your goo into a whistle or something.
I can go like this. Ah!
Well, then they're really going to know it's somebody.
But they won't know where. They'll just think that a
Yeah.
tooth is screaming.
A tooth is screaming.
Oh, looks like that dragon has some toothaches.
Yeah, I am a dragon toothache. It is fine. No one will know. How would they know?
Yeah, I don't think anyone would see it coming, so I guess smart. We should get the rocks.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab some rocks.
Again, she takes you past some arrow traps, and she takes you past a couple of pit traps, one after and after, until the point you think they're going to replace it with something else, right? Nope, it's another pit trap. It's a psych out towards where she's taking you. As you get closer and closer, you actually start seeing what looks like skeletal remains. People have died here, not really recently, but recently enough. She just hasn't moved the bodies, and there's clearly not been much movement at all recently since then. And the closer that you get to the cave she's taken to, the quieter she becomes, until she gets to the entrance to this tiny little cave, and she kind of points over. You can see there's obviously been signs of a scuffle. There are weapons laid on the ground and such and she says, "There are some big rocks in there. Just be careful."
Kimbo, who these dead goons back here?
They were the people that came with the terrible lady.
Oh. Did they bring anything cool? Did you scavenge something? I like to scavenge.
She shakes her head.
Oh. All right, then. All right, to the rocks.
You go inside where the cave is, and you can see that this is definitely a cave of a last stand. You can see that there is what looks like a very small skeletal creature in the back, and you can see that there are some of these really big rocks that have been arranged in front. You can see that this person clearly had a bow and an arrow. You can see signs of magic damage all around you. And you see these ginormous rocks. They are heavy, but I'm not going to make you make strength rolls because that's ridiculous. You have time, maybe, possibly. But I'm going to say that between the two of you, you can grab like a fair amount of these rocks and start shifting and moving them. It would take more than one trip to successfully block an area, but you could probably do that over the course of like 2 hours, maybe a couple of frequent trips there and back.
We do that.
Yeah. I was just randomly contemplating, could I use, what is it, the shadow step, I think?
Yeah.
To just, instead of like carrying the rock, just, I don't know, pick it up, shadow step outside.
Yeah, absolutely you could, because your shadow step, if whatever you're carrying shifts from place to place, you could absolutely do that. You could like chain that to get past some of these traps so you don't fall down the holes. Yeah, you could absolutely do that and make the movement of that a lot faster. So let's say like just
the question is, can I actually access that skill right now with Otra being the way he is?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I just dig my claws into these rocks and carry them manually because that's the kind of lion I am.
You feel like as you like leave the cave with these giant rocks in hand, like, you know, those super big ones you like can barely see around it. You feel Kimball's like little hand on top of yours, and she's kind of like guiding you across the places where you obviously can't see. And occasionally you feel like a whack on the side of your leg as you go to put your foot somewhere you shouldn't. She's taking good care of you as you're backwards and forwarding. But she doesn't really take any rocks unless you pass her some. She's not entering the cave at all. But yeah, after about an hour. You're welcome. After about an hour, like you have enough to block up this area. You have a couple of torches that are easily set up. Alix, could you roll a perception check as a dragon tooth for me, please?
Fucking cannot.
Alix, the dragon tooth.
Wow, that's a
Go willing.
Nice.
Yes, this is what we're talking about. On a 20, probably not long before, let's say as these guys are finishing up making the rock barrier. It's quite convincing by the time y'all are finished. Like, yeah, you probably think you could not pass this, maybe. Alix, you notice that although it has gotten like pitch darkness now, it is like really dark. You are able to see where Kimball's tracks are and where they come in. You actually notice that there are two figures that are moving in the forest, kind of at that area where Kimball had entered the clearing itself. They appear to be 6 feet tall, maybe. They're both wearing obvious cloaks. They're obviously trying to keep warm as you see them like bouncing up and down and shivering and shit. Yeah, you can clearly tell that there are two people that have just arrived and caught up to where that is, and they seem to be talking or something, but you can't really pick up what they're saying a little bit too far away. The snow itself has kind of ceased falling at this point, and maybe the odd, like, tiny little speckling of snow, but as it stands, the snow is up to most of your waists.
Are my friends, are they close enough that I won't have to make a weird noise?
Yeah, let's say like as you hear the other two behind you, like, yeah, they're kind of like, you hear the three of them like coming back to you, like quietly talking or conversing or whatever. So yeah, they'll be close enough that you don't have to alert them. You can just talk to them normally.
Well, I was gonna alert them, but I wasn't gonna do it vocally. I was gonna alert them by throwing down a
Dripping.
rock.
Yeah, you can still do that. It's entirely up to you. Like the people that you see are kind of too far away if you're talking quietly to hear you, because you can't hear them.
Yeah, but I want to be extra careful, so I'm gonna toss a rock at whoever is closest to me.
Let's say Notch.
That's the signal. We got something going on.
Keep your voice down if something's going on.
I can't do that.
Let's assume that because we're an audio podcast that we can talk normally and that we're only whispering.
You don't.
I can kind of do this, but it just sounds like a dying person.
You don't want us to go like this. No ASMR.
No. Yeah, let's avoid the ASMR reflex. Let's go with
fur.
We're assuming we're whispering as far as Notch's voice will allow us to.
Okay, but with that voice, that's
I can go this low.
that feels less like ASMR and more like you're on like that. What is that app where it's like all like audio erotica?
I don't know what you're talking about, but
There's like an app where it's like audio erotica and it's all stuff like just like touch telling someone to touch their fur sounds like it belongs in audio erotica for some reason.
Yeah. That's right.
That belongs in the other books of TLD, like the threads and the fucking
Dark Horse.
That's the one, Dark Horse. It belongs the audio versions of those. All right. What should we do?
I'd say get in position.
Yeah.
Stake out, put someone on the left and the right of the narrow passage. When they get there, the chokehold, we chokehold.
I'm gonna
Yeah, you should maybe
hide.
You can go back to the eggs and stay there. I think you're safer back behind all the other traps, just in case they get into that cave.
She nods and says, "If it's you that's approaching, just whistle or something. Otherwise, I might shoot you."
How about we knock twice on the rocks, so it's not a
If
whistle?
you hear a wooden
Okay.
knock with a spoon, and she taps against the rock with a spoon.
But I don't have a spoon.
Let's assume that you will be with me when we go.
I'll knock my weapon
hope for
against
the best.
the rocks. Two rocks. It's us.
Okay.
3 rocks.
Just, be
Run.
careful, okay? And then she kind of like turns and like begins
You be
to
careful.
like, bolt along. Like she's just running full pelt over across these ledges and like around everything. Like she really doesn't have to be careful. But yeah, you see her disappear off into the darkness. Yeah, you see these 2 people at the edge, and they seem to be looking at the things themselves. Could I have the 3 of you please make a stealth check?
Can I do the thing where what is it called? Is it pass? No, is it pass without a trace?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh. Yeah.
That makes
Pass
us
without a trace
stealthy.
essentially gives you a +10 to your sneak skill or your stealth skill, whatever it's
To
called.
everyone or just
Everyone
Tawree?
in range of Tawree.
every-
Hey.
It should be inside the entire cave, right?
Yep, it should be
I'm
the
trying
3
to
of you for
click it.
sure. Yeah.
Hang on, there. Up to an hour.
Ooh. That means I have a 28.
You do.
I have a 29.
God
Dang.
fucking damn it.
All right, Gooey.
All right, gooey.
Okay, not sure
Sorry,
if that's
I
a
had-
slur.
No, I heard Tui
Tui.
because
Tui.
obviously I've been listening to and paying
definitely.
attention to way too much
Horror. Little Shop of
Little
Horrors.
Shop of Horrors.
My stupid thing. Hold on, there we go. Okay,
is it the mouse?
it's not the mouse. Oh my god,
roll
I don't know what's
20.
going on with my mouse today.
Oh boy!
Hey,
Oh,
24.
We didn't even need pass without a trace.
There ain't nobody here.
So that's a 34. I think the only person who could see you right now is Squash. And even then he'd actually have to look for you. Yeah, the 3 of you are so well hidden, you're not entirely sure where each other are, except that maybe you saw where they were hiding in the shadows.
Gonna bounce into each other. Oh no!
Oh shit, sorry. You phase through each other is how well you're hidden. Yeah, like you're all complete hidden and stay absolutely silently still. Camouflaged against the rocks or hidden in the roof. However you wish to be, that is where you are. You notice these 2 humanoids and they ignore the obvious like beeline that has been made to the skeletal remains. And you see the 2 people walk closer and closer. For Tawree and Alix, you actually immediately recognize the green tiefling and the drow who were staring at you when you were in the inn in the town. And they're very quietly talking to each other. Does anybody here speak Infernal?
I think Alix just mentioned that they spoke Infernal earlier.
It was Draconus
I do
or
speak
something.
Infernal and Draconic.
Draconic.
Nice.
Alix, what are they saying?
Give me a second to listen.
No! Stealth ruined immediately.
No!
It's fine.
That was a whisper.
I'll let you guys write that, but that was a whisper, wink, wink, audience.
That was a knocking signal. Morse code.
All right, let me find out about these two and what I'd written about them.
It's only used among the Dragon Order, a Morse code, knocking on rocks to communicate.
See, and if Alix is goo, then we could put a little goo in our ears, and then the goo could vibrate and create sound.
No.
That would...
No. Okay.
Oh, you have a script.
Alex, I'm just using you as a
got a
device constantly.
Listen, I'm about it.
The pair of them, as they approach, you hear them say, you hear the drow one say, in Infernal. You hear them say, it's just the little one, right? It's just one. I mean, she might have traps and stuff. That's what they're known for, but we can easily take her out, right? And the other one says, the tiefling says, come on. If the other one of us we found dead, that was not her work alone. There were different kinds of weapons. Think for once, won't you think? Oh, come on, there's only one set of tracks. It's been snowing, you idiots. And as this, you see them like crossing the threshold, and you see that they've pulled their weapons. They both seem to be holding like some sort of pick or a sword or an axe. As they enter in, you see them just like look at each other and shrug, and they're just like, no, it's not the time. If we find her, then we'll do it. Yes, element of surprise. Much better thinking. There you go, you're thinking. Good Bob.
That was Casey.
They didn't hear that laugh.
That was Casey, not Alix.
Out of character laugh.
I just like the Corella DeVille villains kind of feeling right here. Now you're thinking, Boris.
It's lupus.
It's never lupus. The drow says, okay, all right, do this carefully, keep your eyes peeled, right? We don't know what they've got set up here, and no matter what happens, and they stop the other one, like did it grab them by the shoulder and then grab the other shoulder, so they're directly looking into their eyes, holding their shoulders. You make it out of here. Okay, no matter what happens, you go. Someone's got to tell Kells. Yes, fine. I'll make sure we go. Understood. Your life is not as important as mine. And you see the other one push the other one to one side, like, for God's sake. And they begin to make their way into the cave. You see them kind of like very carefully looking around. So I'm going to make them roll a perception and see if there's any possibility that they might spot any one of you. I feel like 28. No. I think the minimum is 28, yeah.
I'm the lowest roll with an 18.
You even had a nat 1, I think. It's red.
That is because of disadvantage because of my chainmail and stuff.
Okay.
Oh boy, oof, what a fucking vibe. Every single time in our main campaign that there's a fucking stealth roll, I fail it because of that reason. I feel for you.
They literally can't see you. Even if they nat 20'd, they could not see you.
We're John Cena.
So they actually continue into the cave. And you see that there is clearly, like, they're looking forward. They're seeing a left and a right and a forward. And they kind of, like, put their fingers to their lips and they begin to communicate very silently with one another. And they decide to adopt the left-hand rule and turn left first. Do any of you want to do anything, or are you just going to let them go?
We don't really have a strategy.
So I thought in the tunnel entrance we had set up the boulders to make the choke point. So in order to get even past us, because I imagine if there's two boulders in the entrance and there's one narrow passage they have to come through, I would hang out on one side and Tawree would be on the other, so we could ambush right there.
Absolutely
and
perfect.
Not give them much...
then that's basically what they do. They get to that, like, they decide that, they can see a bit through. They decide they're just going to stay and stick left no matter what, and they kind of like go one after another. And the first one to come through is the drow, followed afterwards by the green tiefling. So if you want to attack immediately, it doesn't exist in D&D, but fuck it. You can all have a surprise round, and you can just go whole hog on these and start ambushing them now if that's your intent.
I think that we should let them go and fall into some traps.
Yeah,
see if
I was
that
thinking
kills
that.
them, and then when they're like weakened from the traps, then we attack.
That's what I was thinking.
If they've fallen down a 35-foot pit, they ain't coming up to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's feeling...
That's why I said, like, let's redirect them to the trap-filled cave that does not lead to the eggs.
And I have a feeling that they're expecting all these traps, and the traps will do nothing.
Well, we can see.
That's just my...
We can, like...
That's just my worry.
We know where the traps are now, since we've been carrying stuff in and out the whole time. So at least...
We can get around them.
Yeah, we would be... Well, Alix maybe not, but Alix can... What? Well, you can probably stay behind it.
Alix could... Yeah. I think you can squidge to the wall, right?
I was going to be like, I can just squidge along. True. I can just
You are the least affected by the traps.
I'm just going to, like, inchworm along the roof of the cave.
Yep. I'll tell you what. I'll let you guys set up the perfect ambush scenario, be it closer to a cave or something like that. Because you guys did so well on your stealth, I'll let you describe what we're seeing, and then we'll go from there. We'll go from the perfect ambush moment. So whatever trap you want them to have gone through, at least one or two of, we can do that, and then you could be happily ready at the end. No problem.
Do each of us want to describe our own thing? And I will... I'll let you two go first, and then I'll figure out what I do around it. If that's cool with you.
I think that Alix doesn't have a ambush moment because Alix will spend all their time being the lookout. So I'm happy to go with whatever you guys have.
I was just thinking to wait until they really fuck up with a trap and see, like, if they fall into a pit, then I'm not gonna jump after them. That's not gonna happen. But, like, if they get hit by, I don't know, arrows or whatever the fuck is in there, we could use those moments of confusion to jump in.
And then I will fall down on top of them from the ceiling like Batman.
And I will wait until both of them have come through the entrance when they're right near a pit, and then I will ambush from behind with a daunting roar and also pushing them towards the pit so that they will not only get scared the hell out of but my daunting roar, but fall into something that's going to be really out of reach of us.
All right.
You're going to Sparta them.
Yeah, I was going to ask, can you, when you do that, can your daunting roar be you yelling, "This is Kino"?
If that is what you want, your wish is my command.
Yay, thank you.
Let me know when you want it.
I've got it. I've got it in my brain. There is a
I should roll the daunting roar first, though, right? Or do I do that? I don't think I do roll it. I just
don't think so. I think you just do it. It's a bonus action. So, all right. Tawree and Notch, you are hidden either side of this narrowing that you have created with boulders. To the side where the two folks are sneaking in and trying to be careful, you know they have to pass through at least one arrow trap filled with poisons and filled with the sticky kind of like mushroom tar. The other side of the narrowing where you two are hiding behind the boulders, you can know that there is like a 20-foot pit there. And it's quite large and quite big, but you know where the edges are. And you know that, for example, if you Sparta kick them in, they are going to the bottom of that pit. All right. I'm going to be fair to them. They have to see if A, they can spot the trap, plural, and B, how much damage they take if they activate them. So I have to be fair to them first.
Why?
All right. But regardless, you will still get your surprise attack when they pass through that narrow passageway. All right.
I just had this other thought that just in case they somehow manage to go, like, avoid the traps and get past us for whatever reason. One of them's already said, like, if something happens, you get out. If that person tries to run out, could Alix kind of maybe
Sticky them.
Well, not sticky them, but like be a wall that redirects them towards the other path that like leads to the egg, because that was always so littered with traps.
Yeah.
Because he will be expecting to go out.
Yeah, I'm actually going to say yes, because this is like quite the area itself is, it's like a maze. So you folks would also at this point struggle to remember how to get back, especially now that you've blocked up entrances to where the eggs are. So it'd be quite dangerous and difficult for you folks too. For them, they've only just stepped in here and then so been ambushed with a wall and pits and dragons roaring at them and shit. Sorry, lions roaring at them and shit. Like, so for them running backwards and suddenly coming into a wall they never expected made of an Alix, then I would say that they could definitely redirect them if you don't get them when they're both past the narrowing. Absolutely, we can do that.
I mean, it's dangerous for them to go back to where the eggs are, but at least there's a chance that they can be hit by more traps.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. This is ridiculous. Okay.
I'm just gonna say we're gonna have to have this communicated with Alix like beforehand.
Well, no, because I'm the only one that knows about the infernal anyway, so it makes sense.
Yeah, we don't know that they're gonna try and flee. So
that's
Alix
true. Yeah,
would have to be the one.
Yeah, it makes sense for Alix to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I contemplated moving a rock into place, but then that would completely reduce our advantage.
Okay.
Because I don't want them leaving.
The pair of them. Let me make sure I get my correct die.
This is the cave you go to die in.
2 enter, 2 do not leave.
2 enter, 3 of us leave.
The 2 of
4.
them make
Don't
their
forget
way
the 4
towards
Kimball.
where Tawree and Notch are, with Alix side behind them, like ready to either drop behind and join in the fight or redirect their efforts when they flee. The 2 of them are moving very quietly, but the 3 of you are able to hear and or see them. As they get closer and closer to the arrows, you see one of them lift a hand, the drow, and put a finger to his lips and listen. He doesn't hear anything. You see him looking around, but he doesn't notice the holes in the wall. And he puts 1 foot forward. And you think, the trap should have gone off by now. Takes another foot forward. You see the tiefling join him, and then suddenly you see this pelting of arrows as the pair of them just get hit by a score of arrows each. So they look a bit like a pincushion. And they both take... and they both take 17 points of poison damage.
Ooh. Is this the moment we jump in? Is this the moment we use?
They are on the other side of where you 2 are. The pair of them... the pair of them like jump forward, and you see them like pulling these arrows out. They're not dead. They don't look terrible, but they shake their head like they're fucking annoyed. Like, sore cloths. It's all right. It's just 1. Just arrows. We can heal this and move on. Now, I guess I better go first. And you see you hear the drow beginning to like squeeze his way through the boulders, the tiefling joining him a moment later. And the pair of them kind of come out through that narrowing, so they're both like in a perfect opportunity if the pair of you want to now attack.
How close is the pit?
Let's say 10 feet from where you are.
Can the name of this episode be Meet Me in the Pit?
Yep.
No, I don't want to meet him in the pit.
No, clearly this is Home Alone, Kimball edition.
Cave alone. Lost in Kino.
Tawree, do you want to jump in first? Or do you want me to do
I would prefer if you did it, because you're a bigger person. I can still come in as the second backup from behind you. Because I'm not a tanky person.
All right. I'm going to jump in full-fledged and push them towards the pit with my daunting roar to make them think that they basically have awoken a dragon.
Jesus Christ. All right, let me read Daunting Roar real quick, and then we'll figure out where we go. Oh, damn. Okay, so the pair of them need to make wisdom saving throws or become frightened.
Does that include us?
Creatures of your choice. So,
okay.
I guess it's up to Notch if he decides to include Tawree and Alix or not.
You want to join in my daunting roar?
No,
I think
we will become
you want us to become frightened.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want you to become frightened. You know this is me.
Thank you.
The frightened condition means that they actually can't get any closer to you. They can't choose to do that. You can choose to get closer to them, but they can't choose to get closer to you. That's what the frightened condition is. Which is great, because it means they now can't escape if you're between them and the narrow exit. So, job's a good one. All right, but they need to make wisdom saving throws first. What is your proficiency bonus, and what is your constitution modifier, my friend?
What?
Proficiency on what?
It's
my proficiency bonus is 3.
Yep.
Oh, up there.
Do you want me to click it? Do I click it?
Nope. And I need to know what your constitution modifier is.
Constitution +1.
Okay, so that's 3 + 1, which is 4, plus 8 as a base. So the DC is 12?
I think so.
Yes, it's 12. But I can already tell you that as you're staring at them and you let out this huge roar as you're opening around a surprise, the green tiefling kind of blinks a few times and steps back. He's obviously surprised, but he doesn't seem scared of you. But the drow that is there, you see them like reaching for their pick, and they take a few steps back so that their back foot is right on the ledge of where you know that the pit is, but obviously he doesn't. So you have definitely scared one. You have scared the drow, but the tiefling remains unscared. Tawree, is there something that you would like to do as a surprise round bonus?
I think I would like to, seeing that there's one person almost on the edge of the trap cliff, the pit. I think she would come out from behind Notch and try to basically shove her spoon into the solar plexus of the guy and try to shove him in.
Yep. Let me very quickly check the shove action. So just make a melee attack.
How do I do that? Just click the weapon?
Yep.
19 to hit.
Ooh, that's pretty good, right?
Make sure that I'm reading this correctly. Yeah.
Bludgeoning.
Okay, I apologize. You need to make an athletics check, but I'm going to give it to you with advantage because you are jabbing at him with a wooden spoon as if from nowhere on a surprise round. So, yeah.
Athletics or what? No.
Yeah, athletics, please, yeah.
Can I argue in acrobatics? Because this is still difficult to navigate terrain. So she would make a little...
How do you do it in an acrobatic way?
I think she was standing behind Notch the entire time, and she saw that his step was getting closer to the edge of the pit, and she doesn't just step out behind. She does it like in a martial arts kind of way. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
It would definitely be more like a step to the side and then step forward, leap forward kind of way.
Yeah, like you like step out from the side and maybe you use Notch's large frame to lean on for a sec to jump out and just go like wooden spoon first into the soda collectors. Yeah, absolutely. Then you can roll acrobatics with advantage.
Ooh, advantage.
Fuck it. Yes. In this situation.
Hang on. Right. Yeah, 18. Okay.
18?
Yes.
Fuck.
I mean, for them.
Oh, he's also at disadvantage. Yeah, like you see him just like initially overcome it, but then like as he straightens up, he realizes he's actually falling backwards, and you see him fall, arms flailing, weapons flying backwards as he goes into like the floor, and you see the covering, the very convincing cloth fall down with him, and a second later you hear a poof at the bottom of the pit.
Oh boy.
Could you roll a D6 for me, please?
Kimball put spikes down there, right?
Kimball's dad put something down there.
Oh.
5.
5? The highest amount of falling damage that we get is usually 1 or 2.
This is an enemy. Enemies always get the more.
That is true, and that pisses me off no end.
Also, I didn't do my roar on the mic. Should I do that at the end of this turn?
Go ahead and do it now while I'm doing maths.
Okay.
Neil added this to when he said he was going to do the roar.
We love you, Neil. Thank you.
This is Kino!
That's for you, Al.
Thank you.
You hear this, Alix? You can take whatever happiness or that you may wish.
I take
from that you can gather that they're definitely beyond the narrowing.
1 inspiration. Thank you. I will take my when you say happiness, you mean I can take inspiration, right? That's what that means.
No, that is not what I'm saying.
1 d6 of inspiration. Thank you, DM. Appreciate it.
It's a good thing I love you. Or as they say in Iceland, thuat happiness, thuat krut, which is you are lucky you're cute.
So I was gonna say, somebody has to love me.
Oh, well, I love you. Alrighty then. Once Tawree has pushed the drow into the pit, you hear its cry of agony and suddenly feel a blast of cold as this circle of ice just shoots upwards and then falls back down again as he suffers ice and falling damage yet again.
Oh boy.
As you see his body like falling down, he's clearly still conscious and still alive.
Oh, did he get pushed up?
Yeah.
Oh.
He looks clearly well beaten. He doesn't look the best.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Everybody chill out.
Get to the pit.
So that was Tawree and Notch. Alix, you have a surprise round action.
Cool.
The drow is bouncing up and down in the pits right now. The green tiefling, doesn't look like he gives much of a fuck, but he does look annoyed.
Well, he's about to give much of a fuck because I am about to... how close is he to the pit?
He's about 10 feet out, let's say 8 feet out. He's really close to Notch.
I'm going to give Notch a chance to push this guy back into the pit by by falling directly onto this guy's face and turning myself solid around his face.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll take it. No attack roll needed. This is just too funny. 100% you can do that. He will try and resist when it's his go, but yeah, you can absolutely blind him in that manner, no problem.
And then I'm going to go, pit, 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 pit.
Is what you hear from inside Alix's shell.
Am I understanding correctly that as soon as he hits the ground again, it starts again?
No, he just did the one bounce. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Boo. Boo. Papa Kimball was good, but he's not that good. All right. I need the 3 of you to please roll initiative. My 2 guys are going to go on the same initiative because I can't be bothered to split them up.
Well, one of
I
them
hope
is
that's
in the pit.
nobody's upsettiness.
In the pit. In the pit.
In the pit.
14.
Oh, mine was saving throw. I don't think I was supposed to do that.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
mine
it's just
too.
a check, mate.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
Oh, Dexter. Oh, the one on the left. There. Got it.
All right. So
can I argue my saving throw? No, I don't want to.
No, I don't want to argue mine.
Okay. Let's go with Alix. What did you get?
14.
I have a 14 as well.
Which of you has the higher dexterity?
My dexterity is 17.
My dexterity is 16.
Okay, then
and
Alix
there's a
goes
plus
first.
3 above it. So
I go first. Of course I have the higher dexterity. I'm a fucking monk.
And you also don't have bones.
That's true. I don't have bones. I got no bones to hold me down.
Super dexterous. And Tawree, what did you get?
16. Apparently I go first.
You do.
Oh boy.
Okay, so you have 20 foot down from you a drow who looks a little bit pissed off, and you have standing right in front of Notch with Alix solidified over their face. You have the green tiefling who looks... you can see some arrow shafts still sticking out of them, but they don't look massively hurt. What would you like to do?
Is there enough space for me to interact with that person, or is this too close to the pit? Okay.
Yeah, they're 10 foot away from the pit, something like that. Sorry, 5 foot away from the pit.
But with a big goo on their face.
Yeah.
Oh, right, they cannot see shit.
No.
Yes.
You would, at this moment, definitely have advantage to hitting because they can't see and they are being menaced in the heaviest way possible.
Goo face. Goo face.
I think she would definitely try to get into a position so she could start hitting him in ways that would make him try to step back into the pit.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess just wooden spoon.
Yep, wooden spoon.
Yeah, wooden spoon. Oh, 27 to hit? No.
Oof.
You had advantage, so there's a possibility you might get a crit, so definitely roll again.
26 to hit?
Ooh.
Okay. 27 to hit with 9 bludgeoning damage. Yes, you definitely smack him, like, wherever you wish.
I guess also, like, in the stomach, because that usually makes people go backwards.
Yeah, like double over. Yeah,
Yeah.
No problem.
And she would definitely do more of those.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I don't remember. I think I have 4 attacks.
Let me
Whoa.
check.
I have definitely an X.
I have an extra attack.
Believe at this level, the pair of monks that we have, you have extra attacks. So your basic attacks during your action round is 2, so you can hit twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you can flurry of blows with an unarmed attack for something else, but I don't remember how many times you can do that. But that does require a key point.
2 unarmed strikes as a bonus attack. It says on my flurry of blows.
Yep, so you can attack 4 times.
Yeah.
With a key point, you can attack twice more, essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
You're already down at least 1 key point because you used the
Shadow Step
trace earlier. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I also
and
used... How many do you want me to deduct for that?
Let's just knock 1 off. You weren't in combat. It's not the worst thing in the world. Like,
so I would be 3 off.
Yeah, 3.
And wait, 3 off, and that's not yet including flurry of blows, right? Any potential?
Yes, 3 without flurry of blows. So say you've used 2 steps of the wind and 1 pass without trace.
Okay,
I think that works. That's a good compromise. I think.
Okay, yeah. Okay, another attack. Just let me know when he's in the pit so I can stop. 29.
Hey, that's a natural 20.
Yay! I critted.
Looks like 13 damage. Okay. He has taken like a step back as you smack him twice in roughly the same place, and he just seems like very unhappy with his life.
Mm-hmm.
And you can attack him twice more with your bonus if you wish.
Yeah. I think at this time I will try to hit him like under his chin or like wherever near the face area where I can hit him without hitting Alix. So just to confuse them.
Yep.
And
That's
this one
fine.
is unarmed, right?
Yeah, these are unarmed. Yeah.
How do I do? Oh, okay. I clicked the unarmed. Are they also advantage? Yeah.
Yeah, they'd both be advantage. Like while he's like this, like you guys have a ganging up, flanking, whatever the fuck you want to call it, even though it doesn't exist, but clearly is a thing. And he can't see.
Well, wait, what the fuck? 17 to hit? Okay.
17. Yes, that just about hits.
Okay.
With
7 damage. Yeah.
Yeah, like you've gotten like a couple of good smacks in the chest and you've followed with a good couple of uppercuts. He's, let's say, like 2 foot away from the edge of the pit now. I know you're supposed to do strength checks, but like, fuck it. He is very upsetty right now, and you guys have him over a barrel, so to speak. So yeah, so he's about 2 foot out from the edge of the pit.
That concludes my attack.
I think so. Okie dokie then. It is.
Is it
now
Alix or me?
Alex.
I'm Alix.
So Alix has
Go,
the
Alix.
higher dexterity. So that means that Alix goes first.
Goku!
I don't remember the name of this wrestling move, but there's basically a move where you jump up and put your legs around someone's head and use the momentum of that to like toss them. So I'm gonna just do that and try to toss the guy into the pit. I'm gonna momentum my way into throwing him into the pit. Elliot, please respond and let me know what this is called. Because
So it sounds like it really should be an athletics check.
Nope, acrobatics.
Yeah, we allowed momentum before. Fuck it, yeah. So you can make an acrobatics check at advantage because he is massively disadvantaged right now because of all of y'all.
18.
All right, his opposed check. Disadvantage. He got a 17. So yeah, fuck it. You managed to propel him into the pit. Roll 1d6, please.
Fuck yeah.
Hey.
Hey yo.
Is it me playing a tabletop game if I don't attempt to wrestling in a fight? 5.
God damn it! Why do my poor NPCs?
Your poor NPCs.
My poor NPCs. It's poor folks. What have they ever done to you? So that was your action. What would you like to do with your bonus?
My bonus?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, because if you used your action to not do an attack per se.
Can I? I don't really have anything I want to do with my bonus action. I'm good.
Okay, so that's Alix's go. It is now Notch. Notch, what would you like to do?
I mean, they're both bouncing in the pit, so there's like, well, what
When
can
one
Notch
goes
do at
up,
this
slap
point?
them in the stomach so that it hits them back down.
That's what I was actually thinking. Is like as they're going up and down, I'm like holding up my sword and like trying to hack away at whatever's going up and down.
Trying to dissect them as they go up.
Using the momentum.
A singular pulse of ice through the drow into the ceiling. There are no more pulses of ice. His magic work was not quite that skilled. They are basically both lying prone at the bottom of the pit, which is about 20 foot down. If you were to jump down...
Get a boulder! Throw boulders! Get one of the boulders!
That's an option.
Throw boulders!
You did
that
stack
idea.
them, so yes.
Notch takes a big ass boulder and hucks it into the pit with them, using his. Oh, I can't use divine smite.
You could just use strength. It's an improvised
it's not a
weapon.
Yeah.
So just do a strength check to see whether it hits them. Can you actually lob it far enough and in the right direction? And depending on how successful, I'll let you know if they dig both of them.
I got a 12.
That was a 12.
Way to go, Notch.
I'll give them both dex checks to see if they can get out of it, but they'll be at disadvantage because they're on the floor. They're lying prone.
Well, they're going up and down too, aren't they?
No, it's only one push up with the ice.
Oh, okay.
The tiefling manages to nimbly dodge out of the way. The drow just is going to take it. What is your strength?
14.
I would like to go on the assumption that you picked up the biggest rock you could.
Ah, yeah. Get the big one.
Okay,
What?
could you roll 2d10 for me, please?
What he could pick up in 6 seconds.
Yeah. Guys, help me!
I got 8 plus 2.
Okay. The drow who did not dodge out of the way takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage and is pinned. So he's not moving. Wow, he looks very unhappy with his choices in life.
That's another word of saying half dead.
He is way more than half dead.
3/4 dead.
Yeah.
7/8.
7/8.
7/8.
Yes, that is actually way more accurate.
He's only mostly dead.
It's just a flesh wound.
I literally posted that meme earlier on the Discord today.
That was your action, so you managed to lob a rock and pin one. He's not moving. Unless someone picks up that rock, the drow is not moving. Is there anything else that you'd like to do, Notch? You have a bonus
I get an
and a
extra
move.
attack, right?
An extra attack, I believe, is applied when you use a melee weapon, and this was improvised. Let me just check.
Somewhere in my mind just went, throw the shield at him! Throw the shield at him!
Captain America.
Are there any creatures in the cave?
Yeah, us.
Like bats hanging around or mini dragons in the walls?
Take a nature check for me.
There's just some silverfish.
Oh, God. It's a 2.
You know nothing
You're
about nature.
convinced that there are just eyes over. No, you are not aware of any other creatures, even though I believe that Kimball mentioned there are creatures that living here. You haven't seen any and you don't believe it. Yes, you can attack. It doesn't mention it has to be a weapon.
Rodents of unusual size.
Great. I'll use my my hand crossbow because I can't reach them, right?
Correct,
You've
yeah.
had
That's
a
what
whole
you can jump
crossbow
down
the
there.
entire time.
You wanted me to pick up the rock. I clearly remember this rock chant. Rock,
Honestly,
rock.
the rock did more damage. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you could. I'm gonna say, yeah, like it's. You could shoot. It depends which one you're shooting.
I'm gonna shoot the one that's not dead or died.
The one not under the rock. Yeah, you can shoot him. Go for it.
Okay.
You can make a straight attack.
Aim at the knee. So he can't climb out.
I aim for the leg.
16.
I rolled a 16 with 8 piercing damage using one of my bolts.
Your bolt goes shoop and lands in the dirt right next to his head.
Oh.
Yay.
No.
And that's why we don't use the crossbow.
Yeah.
Dang it!
Sorry about that.
I missed. I'm sorry, guys.
In fairness, this all happened in 6 seconds, and you were like, rock, the crossbow.
Yep, and the tiefling below is like rolling around like, fuck.
I throw the rock and fire the crossbow at the same time. It ricochets off the rock and hits the dirt. And I'm like, well, that was a bad idea.
That would have been the
just wasted a
coolest of
bolt.
trick shots if it worked. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, fuck it. Okay, it is now my boys' go. You see the pair of them as they're laying on the ground.
Oh, they're both laying
see-
now? I thought only
Yeah,
one
they're
was
both prone.
Okay.
They're both prone. So you actually technically should have been at disadvantage when you shot them with the crossbow, but he just dodged out of the way of the rock and I'm like, fuck it. They can't have everything. And fuck them, they're terrible people. You see, as both of them are laying on the ground, you see rocks and boulders and ice and bolts and wrestling moves and spoons to the gut all going off. You see their features change and shift, and they lose the drow look and the tiefling horns as they change their form into a very undead looking creature.
Ew.
You see that one of them has like a huge hole in the jaw and the other one has like clearly missing parts from their arms. They look pretty disgusting, to be honest.
Are these the guys from Pirates of the Caribbean? The two dorks?
Yes,
The one with the
basically.
wooden eye and the other guy?
Kind of. One of them thinks they're smarter than the other. Yeah, they completely shift and change. Alas, nobody's within 5 feet, but you all do just get this sudden, as soon as like their appearances are fully changed, you do get this sudden waft of overwhelming stench of decay. It's really fucking gross.
These are the times I am glad I do not have nostrils.
Yeah, you kind of like, you know, if you walk into a room that's really spory and has mushrooms in it, you kind of like, yeah, don't feel great. You feel that. But you don't get a gross smell.
Yeah, Alix, you're gonna absorb that.
Yes.
You're gonna carry that on you for a week.
They were not disgusting when I held them in my goo.
I'm going to have to wash Alix in tomato sauce or tomato juice.
Alix does the dog thing where they like just start shaking their head and like pawing at their face to try to get the smell off.
You see the drow, for his action, is going to try and push the boulder off the legs. He's going to do so at disadvantage because he's pinned by said rock, and usually you need your legs to help you lift. You see him struggling with the rock, and you see it just like slowly begin to shift and lift, and then it falls back upon him. So he doesn't manage to unpin himself.
Does he get damage again?
Himself free? No. It hurts his pride, maybe. So that's
How much pride damage does
long-lasting
it take?
damage. At least one.
Roll for pride damage.
The one that was formerly the tiefling, you see him get up, kind of shrug his shoulders at the other guy who looks at him pleadingly and conversing in Infernal. The tiefling says, well, I guess I better run. And you see him stand up, you see him turn and run to the other side of the pit, where you see him throw up his pickaxe and use that to pull himself with a... His pickaxe isn't long enough. No, fuck it, he can. He's tall. You see him throw the pickaxe up and use that to pull himself up with a bit of a jump and a leap. He's basically hanging by his fingertips at the other side of the pit, but he can't get any further in his move action. That's all they can do. That's it, they're done. Tawree, what do you want to do?
Oh,
Can I
many options.
Can I really quickly use a free in between action to be like, by the way, that one is supposed to go back and report to Kels.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Get them before they leave. Can't let them leave the cave.
Tawree is just going to turn to Notch and be like, get over there, and then she's going to use shadows. No, step of the wind. One of those. Hang on.
One of the steps, yeah. One of the scary steps. One of them scary steps.
I want to get over there and start, like, get in the pit. I can get out of there easily.
Yep.
Whichever one it is, I don't remember.
I think it's shadow step because step of the wind just is like to disengage and then give you like extra jumping ability.
Then it's just shadow step. Get in there. Mm-hmm. And can I still?
Yep, you can get in the pit. You can be wherever you like with that. Like it's dark in here, but you could argue everything is shadowy.
That is my that is the bonus. Can I put that in front of my attack? Can I still attack after that?
Absolutely. You can do anything in any order. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to start attacking him. Like he's hanging there, and she's going to slam him in the rib area, I guess, from the on the sides because he's he's exposed currently.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like you could definitely reach up and smack him if you want to be in the pits because he is like hanging by his fingertips. He's probably about maybe like 14 feet up from where you are. She could probably jump up and smack him. You're a monk. You can jump high. So
maybe she would shadow step like in between, so she would have like a little. She would still have to pass him by and jump down next to him.
Oh,
and then,
absolutely, yeah. Don't come as you're going.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Is this still advantage or normal?
No.
Okay. Oh, that's an 18.
That hits?
Yeah, for 11 damage.
How do you want to destroy him?
Oh, I think as she jumps in and hits him under the arm, like in the where the armpit is, she just probably rips the spoon through him because he's now a skeleton.
Yep. Gross and disgusting. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Like, as you do that, like, his entire form just, like, crumbles, and you see the kind of, what clearly was the light in his eyes just go out, and he falls into a skeletal heap right next to you with the pickaxe still up on the side, hanging there precariously.
Okay.
You have one attack still left. The other guy, you could definitely close the gap and get there and smack him if you want to, the one under the boulder.
Yeah.
We need information. You might not want to finish the second one off. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, well, with that information...
We need to know where they're coming from.
With that information, she's definitely just, not leisurely, but like slowly stepping towards the guy, not in the, I'm going to smack your face kind of way.
Yeah, I'm going to say you basically have a choice. You can either choose to bind him, although he will try and struggle back, but the three of you could jump down and seize that, or you could just knock him out with non-lethal damage. That's an option too.
I mean, there's no reason for the two of them to go get them there, so I guess I'm just gonna bind him and like throw the rope up there so they can pull him up if that's a thing they want to do.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You can like push the boulder off. Like it's a bit of a struggle, but you could do it.
Crack some ribs in the process.
You have gained yourself one slightly undead, very unhappy,
Slightly undead.
Very undead, a very, very undead looking creature. You have taken prisoner. And I think at the 2-hour mark, that might be a good point to stop this episode.
Yeah.
We got him.
Got him.
He's ours.
Got him.
I
Gentlemen,
need to write this down so I don't forget.
we got him.
We got him.
That's the worst.
I got no bones to hold me down, to make me laugh, to make me frown. I got no bones to hold me down, to make me laugh, to make me frown. I got no bones to hold me down, to make me laugh, to make me frown. I got no bones to hold me down, to make me laugh, to make me frown. I got no bones to hold me down, to make me laugh, to make me frown. I got no bones to hold me down, to make me laugh, to make me frown. I got no bones to hold me down, to make me laugh, to make me frown.
Hi, it's Kimball. Thank you so much for listening to our episode about being Dragonseekers. And it was nice to be able to show off all of my traps that I'd made. And Notch said that they were very good. So that made me really happy. I want to say thank you to Notch and Tawree and to Alix for being really nice and being really good about helping me defend the eggs before the people come, because I don't think I could do it on my own. So thank you. And also talking about not being on our own and saying thank you is we want to say thank you to all of our patrons. You really help us. Well, for me, you help me keep the traps going and make sure that I have some food and water while I'm here. So really, thank you so much, patrons. You're doing great. And if you want to help support me and the cave defenses, then Patreon's a good place to go, because you'll be able to listen to the story of the Dragonseekers like 2 months early and a bunch of other cool things early as well. So yeah, mostly, yeah, I think that's it. I think I can hear Notch roaring off in the distance. I think they got into a little bit of a fight, so I'm gonna go make sure that everything's okay when I don't hear the noises. So, wish us luck. Bye.